Howdy everybody, this is the Game Colonel here today. And what I wanted to do is put out a short video on the top 10 lists of helpful ED websites and tools. And really these are tools. Everyone can dispute which is the number one, which is the number 10. You know, really this is stuff I could have used when I first started Elite Dangerous, and I'm sure there's some new players out there that are going, you know, I could wander along aimlessly looking for certain trade goods, looking for upgrades, looking for this or that, and avoiding the pitfalls if I only knew what were the places I need to go. So again, this is what this is designed for pretty much the beginner to Elite Dangerous. And maybe there's some older folks out there that may learn a thing or two. I'm constantly re-looking at these websites that we're going to talk about today because it gives me and it refreshes information and gives me new hints and tips on what I need to be doing. So let's start with the number 10 here, the Elite Rare Trader. Now, when you start in the game, you're given a small craft. Doesn't have a lot of capability. You know, yes, you are going to start there, maybe in the rings of a planet and shooting a couple ships to get some money built up. But you've also got the capability of carrying a little bit of cargo here and there. You know, I started making the money to be able to build up my ships right away from this website here, the Elite Trader. So what it does is it shows you, you can identify it between the different factions if you want to stay with that, or you can click all of them. It doesn't matter. And each one you go to, it's going to tell you what it has at that location, what's sold there, and the distances to the next trading location. So again, that's pretty good information. Remember, when you're working with rare trading items, you got to go about 150 to a max of 200 light years away with each commodity to get the maximum turnaround value. Okay, you won't get any benefit of selling these items unless you go past at least 60 light years. So again, keep that in mind when you're doing that. When you're starting the game, you don't have a lot of jump capability in your ship. It can take a little bit. So this may be something that, you know, wait till you do your next upgrade to really start raking it in, because this made a big difference for me. Let me show you something that goes kind of hand in hand with this. And what you see on the screen now is the Loop Trader, we call it. It's been out for a while. I don't believe there's any one person that can claim fame to this, or I've been looking. But what it tells you is you start within these realms here, any one of these locations. It tells you, let's say, Lave, and you start at Lave Station. Each one of these that are marked here have rare trade items. So if you're starting off with a smaller ship, this works really well. So you're at Lave, 4 light years, easy within the jump range. Picking up different rares as you go through. Now there's some distance in the training that you're going to fly through these locations here. These will give you stopovers for items, but it also lets you, once you reach this location here at Witch Hall, you sell everything that you've picked up, and that will give you your max profit on those items. And again, you start it going to the right, and you loop around. You have a larger ship, more cargo capability, extend it on out this way to Altair and come around, make the big loop. So the loop is designed for your ship's distance and cargo carrying capability. So the big ships taking the big ring around here and then doing the sales at each of these locations for maximum profitability. I thought this was a great website, and it really did help me out at the start. And that was number 10, along with EliteTrader.co. Number 9, the ED Shipyard. This is a pretty simple database, but it has a lot of information in here. And I'll put a list of all the links to these sites down below the video. But what you pretty much do is you pick out your ship that you have or want to get. I find this very useful before I buy a ship and what its capabilities are, and bottom line, how much it's going to cost me. So again, all the way down on the left-hand side here tells me what the ASP Scout has on board as a stock ship. Okay, so when I buy it stock, I know what it's pretty much going to cost me and what the insurance is. It's also going to tell me what the FSD range is for laden and unladen, and the speed and impulse power for max and regular. What also shows too is I can change any one of these factors in here, and it will tell me if I want to go to the Enforcer cannon, it'll tell me the impact that'll cause from cost to mass to power all the way down the line. So it changes, here's my cost, and it'll tell me what I like to look at a lot again is what is my FSD jump range, how much is going to impact me on that. Also, they've included upgrades for the engineers. So you can put down what the engineer upgrade is and again, what its impact is from across the board. So I thought this was very helpful as one of the earlier websites I could have used. And that was number 9, the ED Shipyard. Okay, number 8, that brings us to the engineering database. And you find the links on the Frontier forums, and we'll talk about the forums here coming up in a lower number. But what it does is it's a database gathering data, information that people have put into this over the past, probably about 10 months now. It's been pushed by Commander Leith, if I got that name pronounced right. He's the one that publishes out there and continues to upgrade this. So it's a great tool here, one that I use a lot, especially now that I've gotten into the engineering aspect of this. So what you'd first do is you need to go and download this, okay? And what it'll bring up is a copy of Elite Dangerous here. You need to make sure that you make a copy and do not work off the live copy that's online here. Okay, once you get that set into your local drives, pretty easy to do. You just identify, what you're going for. For example, here's Felicity Farseer. She focuses on FSDs and thrusters. I can only go up to, I can go all the way up to 5 on FSDs, but only to 3 on thrusters. If I wanted to go up all the way on the thruster for a level 5, I would have to go see Professor Palin to go ahead and do that, okay? So it gives you an information of where to go find that, what you're going to need to be able to do business with these engineers, and pretty much what it's going to cost you, okay? And it tells you some more alternate ranking up methods on the right. Along the bottom of this database, it's got some tabs. You look at the tabs. For example, we're in right here, Felicity Farseer. You can load down any one of the engineers you want to do here. We'll keep it with her. It tells you what she does when we're working at thrusters or anything else. Okay. Tells you the cost. It tells you the value, the ranges, the impact of that, and also on the far right, it tells you what they're going to cost. So if I'm going to go to a level 3, level 4, or level 5, it's going to tell you what it's going to cost me in components and items I need to pick up to be able to, quote, pay for these items. Now, once you look at the components you need, you go to the next tab. It tells you all the components along the left, goes all the way down. So if I look at basic conductors, all right, it tells you me what it is. It's the type and the rarity, very common. It's a subtype as a conductor. You find it in shipwreck salvage. And then a lot of these, it's going to have in-game location hints. So collected on planet surfaces down here, collected during basic scans. Okay, so you're not wandering around looking for these items here. Then you can go to the next tab. It tells you what are the secondary effects for each of these items. Remember, when you go to an engineer, you're focused on your primary effect, but it also comes with some secondaries. This takes the guesswork out of that. And the next 2 tabs are the data within each of these items that you purchase and the constants. The constants being the engineer, the components, the stats, the grades, everything like that. So if you want to look at one page, you can go ahead and do that. All right, that was number 8, the engineering database on the Frontier forums. Here's a real simple website that I found was effective even now. It's a smaller collection, but it is growing because, again, you could see in the upper left, you can say go surveying and put information in, but it's called the ED Materializer. So if I need Nobium, okay, depending on where I'm at in the galaxy, it'll tell me what world it's located at, when it was last scanned, who was the surveyor, and where it's at. So if you're really looking for a focus on, let's say, most of these are carbon here, but you can scroll all the way down. You want some zinc? Well, here's a location with zinc in it. This is helpful so you're not plodding around from planet to planet looking for it. Now, with the changes in Elite Dangerous, if you go into a solar system, you can click on each of these planets if they've already been discovered, and it'll tell you what percentage of items are on it. So that's very helpful along with this here. But as a simple website, I thought the ED Materializer was good for number 6. I really like this database and this website, the EDDB, Elite Dangerous Database. Pretty simple name, but it does a whole heck of a lot. Okay, so a lot of stuff to read here when that's at, but what it'll tell you is different systems, stations, factions, commodities, everything like that. What I tend to do is for my trading. So if I'm at a location A, what it lets me do is says, here's my route for a single route trader. So from point A to point B, it tells me if I have a system I want to trade, so at point A, I want to trade widget 1, and I want to buy it and sell it to a different location. I enter that location there. It'll tell me how much it costs. It'll also tell me if I just do a buy from system, I click find routes, it'll tell me the most profitable location I can go to within a certain distance. Again, if you look on this here, you can change some of these. So if my cargo capability is not 7 tons, but it's 120 tons, this will help at the end to tell me how much I could expect to get. Available credits, if you have a lot more than 1,000 credits to spend on cargo, put that down. Jump range, everything like that will tell you. So you can now go out and instead of using what I consider a broken in-game system of trading from system to system, you can use this as a great supplement, and I think my primary source for how I do my trading, and that was the EDD database for number 6. Oh, let me add one more thing here. Also in trading, you want to do a loop trade like I talked about earlier. Here's a system for certain types of trades. You try to get a system, enter your location, find any type of trading loops within that system, and that's what that does. And again, you can also click under trading under multi-hop, loop, single, and then certain commodities. Okay, so a lot of information within this database. Just poke around for a little bit, and again, that was the EDD database. For number 5, the INARA website. Kind of a forum. It's got some information in it. I think is a great go-to location for updates within the game. Real live updates outside of Elite Dangerous. So yes, you can get some of this information within the game itself, but here's a system that you can look at any time and say what is going on from community goals, from different topics within Galnet News, different reports in the systems, and some GWiz information, also a link to Radio Sidewinder, which we're going to talk about in a little bit here soon. It allows you to log in and personalize it for yourself. So it'll track on what your current ship is, especially if you belong to a certain faction or a certain group within Elite Dangerous. It allows you to look at each other's equipment, ships, and whatnot for that. All right. Also, it's got a market function here of what is going for each station, and across the galaxy, what is then going on, the most visited systems, the different powers. So a lot of stuff to search to here. I recommend taking a look at it, and that is the INARA database. All right, speaking of Radio Sidewinder earlier, coming in at number 4 for me is Radio Sidewinder. Covers news, music, gossip. Again, the links will be on below, but here he is. You see it on my webpage right here. Hey, I think it's a great source. Great, you're traveling long distances, can get kind of tedious and monotonous. These folks here put together a pretty good program of mostly instrumentals, music going through that, but it's got a lot of good contacts, some links, areas to look at Discord and whatnot. Now, let me add something else into here. I'm also a flight sim, real pilot, but also a flight sim pilot. I enjoy that. One of the things that also comes up with this is another radio it's called Sky Blue Radio. Truth is, I prefer listening to this. This comes up with some more, besides just instrumentals, this has some great, live music.
Family, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
A lot of good, shows going on with this. There's also just some rock, depending on the DJ that's playing at the time, and it'll give you a calendar and a time hack on what DJs are playing what. But you can base your music based on that and tune in at certain times. Okay, so those are 2 great radio stations. Again, coming in at number 4. All right, coming in at number 3 is the Elite Dangerous Wikipedia. Okay, I wish I would have found this earlier into my game system, game experience, but it came along pretty easy. I found it just randomly searching. But again, you want to know about a ship, what its capabilities are, what it brings to the fight, its costs, different hard points, categories, everything like that. This wiki is updated and full of some great information. Really just poke around, just search through it, give you an idea of what you want to do. And again, as you're playing Elite Dangerous, You've also got, your focus on what you're earning your credits for, but you probably got on your mind the one or two ships that you're going to work towards. This will help you determine what are those ships that you want to do. Do you want to work towards a trading ship, passenger carrier, combat ship? This will give you all the details, and you can compare and contrast for the different components within that in each of the ships. All right, that was number 3 for the Elite Dangerous. All right, coming in at a very strong number 2 is Threads Elite Dangerous Trading Tool. I really like this here. It takes all the guesswork out of where to find certain supplies, how much your profitability is going to be, where are those rare trade items, you name it, and the list is easily broken down between a myriad of different ways of doing that. So let's step through this here. First, you're going to create a profile. Beneficial to doing that, you're going to earn points as you engage and utilize this system, and each of these points allow you some benefits on how you can manipulate the database and really help grow this system, because it's only as good as the information put into it, and I think it's pretty good. People are really contributing to this. But the number one thing you use it for, here's your trade calculator. Here's just a random example from Sol at Burnell Station. It tells me the outpost, how far away is from the sun. I'm going to go to wired system, and the port is Black Hide, 9 light seconds away. My cargo capacity is 250. I have plenty of cash. Min profit, you could put that down there. I sometimes don't fill it in, but it'll also save you time of going through a lot more different answer solutions here as you go through it. So if I want to do this, I calculate it. Okay, it does the calculation for me there. Here it tells me my location. The commodity is cobalt, and Wired wants to buy cobalt. Okay, so the total profit out of 250 cargo capacity is going to be 59,000 on this. If you want to take that, you can organize it different. What you'll do is you click this arrow here. It'll engage it and let them know that yes, this is the transition I'm willing to do, and we're going to take care of that. Okay. If you want to find a trade, you're just telling it again. You're looking at location being Sol. Okay. What's the range you're looking for these items? Max distance, min distance, and you just search for that. Okay, just looking for a trade that's going to happen. Okay, so the best search for a trade from 20 light years from Sol is total profit is for palladium is 34.30 per ton. Okay, lists. You want to search a system, sell, or buy a commodity. Here's a pure search across the board, and of course, here's the rares from your current location. So if I hit Sol, here's the rares and distance from me. So I have at Centauri Megajin, it's only 4.3 light years from away at Alpha Centauri, and it tells me it's quite a ways from the jump in. So if you're going to get that stuff, you've got a little bit of cruising within the system. Okay, so it does that. They've done a great job putting this together. It continues to be updated, and what's nice with that, it also comes with the you need to download the ED Market Connector, and it's going to tell you at the home page. I think we saw it when we were up here. The ED Market Connector right here. That'll allow you to update your current location as soon as you arrive at the station. So no longer do you have to type it in. No longer do you have to hit an F key. It takes care of that for you, and it updates this system real time. A very strong number 2, Threads Elite Dangerous Trade. Finally, last but not least, and really there was no way I could have not put this as number 1. If you're starting this game, you're involved in this game at any level, beginners, intermediate, advanced, all you elite folks out there, and I'm not one of them, you need to subscribe and be part of Elite Dangerous community. It is the most active forum community I've ever seen within different gaming forums. Okay, people are always updating this. Very great, a very good post, a well thought up search engine for this. So if you want to look at engineer trading, you want to look at different bugs that are out there, ships, guides. You know how a forum works. It's all got it right here. I really enjoy the new post section right here. I click on that and look for anything that's coming up here. If I put a post there, it notifies me. But again, the top things that are out there for different discoveries, Christmas specials, videos, and sad to say there's a whole lot of bitching going on in this too, but that's all part of the process. Elite Dangerous, the company, Frontier, looks at this. They do answer your inputs there. They do update the game based on community inputs. It's a great engagement back and forth between the community and the company. Pretty much, I have not seen that type of engagement with between community and company ever before in a gaming system. So it's all right here. Please take the time to look through it. It's great to put on to your tablet if you're walking around, you have some extra time. Just sift through the forums, see what news is out there, and what tips and tricks, because it's all there. And all the information I saw from I put out today from 1 to 10, and there's many more to that, all came from searching through these websites here. So again, that concludes my list of the top 10 helpful ED websites and tools. Hopefully it's helpful to you. I know it continues to be helpful to me. And this has been the Game Kernel, and I'm in command.